Welcome to Void Media. I'm your host, Shallow Abyss. This is a new experimental segment on the Super Media Runners channel where I will be researching and talking about media related to the unknown, the supernatural, and paranormal. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm sure many of us have heard of the two short clips that have been circling the news with these never before shown to the public footage of UFOs or UAPs. Released on the 16th of this month by well-known ufologists Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp from their own podcast, Weaponized. In my opinion, I'm sure many others would agree, this is a great way to start off the year with these compelling videos. Let's jump into the void and watch the footage together. This is eerie. It's so strange but captivating. To me, it's almost like my own brain is trying to convince me that it's CGI, a balloon, a piece of bird shit on the lens. but nothing straight off the bat really tells me it's fake. I'll give my reasons in a bit, but first, let me spit the facts on the backstory of these videos. So, this was supposedly taken from 2018, while the US Army was still in Iraq. Taken by the Army surveillance thermal vision media, we can clearly see this unexplained object drifting across and over structures within the base. I see no exhaust fumes, propellers, or wings. What I do see are appendage-like shapes that are dangling down beneath, which this object was then coined the Spaghetti Monster, Chandelier UAP, and my favorite, the Jellyfish UFO. Just rolls off the tongue better for me. According to Jeremy, there was a previous story about a jellyfish-like object, like the one seen from the video, that was gliding around a nuclear base site. I admit, strangely enough, they were contacted later along with this footage that had both Jeremy and George astonished and excited to put one story onto an actual image of a similar object described. The second footage is not from a different location or taken from a different point in time. Just to make it clear, this was taken directly after the first footage we saw, but now it is over a body of water, and we can clearly see it's moving. It's not being disrupted by any wind. It clearly went from hovering over land to being above water. While talking about the Jellyfish UFO, Jeremy states there is about 30 or so minutes of missing footage that would have shown this object abruptly stopping over the body of water, descending into the lake or whatever the body of water is, and disappearing for a certain amount of time. It would later then surface and shoot out into the sky at a 45-degree angle with unimaginable speed. Around mid-podcast, Jeremy and George interviewed a personnel who was within the base who confirmed that they had trouble locking on into this object, so it couldn't have been a balloon. You can see the transparency of the object changing opacity. As well, the object is not staying in one place on the targeting device or even on the screen for that matter. So that removes the smudge or bird shit theory. And this is coming from the US Army. Although anything about the government, even when it comes to UFOs, has to be taken with a grain of salt. But personally, I still can't see any fakeness or possibility of CGI being used. Unless, of course, they're trying to fool other countries and all this is a secretive prototype, but I'm leaning towards no. Next, I like to read what George and Jeremy wrote on the description of this episode. Unreleased 2023 weaponized episodes. In the fall of 2017, security personnel at a U.S. military base in Iraq detected a highly unusual intruder. The bizarre object was essentially invisible to all but a thermal imaging system. A thermal recording of the object as it flew across the base was made by astonished observers. Within minutes, a video feed of the episode was cut off from U.S. allies located within the same base. Intelligent assets at the base continued to monitor the object as it crossed the facility, then zipped over an adjacent body of water, stopped on a dime, plunged into the lake, then emerged 17 minutes later, and blazed into the heavens at an astonishing speed. An attempt was made by the base commanders to collect and suppress all evidence of the incident. Witnesses were all sworn to secrecy. The full video files were seized, then buried, but somehow a partial copy of the video was made and stored on a secret internal server. The object, dubbed the Spaghetti Monster by those who later saw parts of the video, seemingly resembled a jellyfish. It was widely viewed by base personnel in the months afterward. In this episode of Weaponized, Jeremy and George reveal details about how and when they obtained a video of the sensational Jellyfish UFO, what steps were taken to try and discern what it might be, and also respond to spurious attempts to explain away the Jellyfish UFO as something other than a legitimate UAP. That jellyfish video exploded onto the UFO scene days ago and has now been viewed by millions of people around the world. Included in this episode are comments from one of the military personnel who was present at the base soon after the incident. I'm not gonna lie, these are the best UFO footages to date. Not only is there video, it was taken by a military base and not even they understand what they're looking at. The object is not your typical cigar or saucer shape. It's more of an imperial droid from the planet Hoth scene. The best thing any researcher or interviewer can do is get a reliable source, and I just love the fact that Jeremy has been sitting on this for months, waiting for data and resources to pile up so that what he is sharing will have enough information and correlations to back up what he provides and claims. I'll say it again, he is the best in the community and in what he does. I grew up loving the thought of aliens and extraterrestrial life, along with other supernatural things. But I will be following him even harder now. No homo. I hope you enjoyed this segment, and I hope to continue my research into the void. Please like and subscribe. Don't be shallow. Give me a follow. Let me know what I should cover and research next. I plan on posting every Friday, but with an actual job and responsibilities, I can only be honest with you. Anyways, look for me in the void. But be careful. I might just glare back, for I am Shallow Abyss.
Game over.